evaluation system, we made a foolproof course, and that's why that is the data science course we introduced, and the statistics department taking initiative. Like that, we have taken number of initiatives, and in addition to that, the emerging courses. Today, everybody talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, so on and so forth. Telangana state government permitted 24,000 of intake enhanced this academic year and last year academic year to provide access to the emerging areas to our students are concerned. So this is all going to be one of the best models, and we are trying to take the spirit of this national education policy, and Telangana is going to be the dream destination for all the students across the globe is concerned. And lastly, I would like to conclude that this type of seminars is to deliberate the so many other issues, challenges which is becoming difficult for implementing this concept. And what are the debate going across the states, that I would like to make two important things. One is issues to be recognized, the constitutional objective of the centers to recognize the state's involvement in the higher education policies are concerned. We are all aware that the education was in the state subject when the constitution was adopted. But in 1976, during the emergency period, with the 42nd amendment, the education was shifted from state list to the concurrent list. So, keeping that into mind, how best we can make to identify the role of the states, the responsibilities of the states, that will be definitely make them more effective. So many states have their own reservations and debates are going on. So this type of deliberations definitely help us to understand the policies are concerned. We have to this type of celebrations, I appeal this August gathering to agree to disagree to make implementable policies. With these few words, I thank the organizers and patient listening of August gathering. Thank you.
Namaskar, good morning to all of you. Honorable Governor of Telangana and Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, Her Excellency Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan, Professor Limbadri, Professor Badu Satyanarayana, Professor Jagdish Prasad Singalji, Professor Ravinder, Professor Kishan, and also Professor Mahinder Kapoor and Gunta Lakshman, who are in the audience. Vice Chancellors from different universities of Telangana, directors of institutions, principals of the colleges, faculty members, students, persons from the media, and ladies and gentlemen. I am indeed very pleased to be here in Hyderabad today for the two-day seminar on synergizing higher education in the context of NEP 2020 and strategies for implementation. Before I spoke, already Professor Limbadri as well as Batu Satyanarayana ji have very eloquently described about what are the salient features of the new national education policy and how both the states as well as the central government have to work together for the success of this policy, which has come after 34 long years after the 1986 policy was announced. And that's why we must understand various facets of this. And I'm going to deal with 7 core themes of this policy, which are going to be very important and significant for all of us to understand the nuances of that and how do we start strategizing to implement them. The first one, which was also very eloquently spoken by Professor Limbadri, was about access, equity and inclusion. In the new policy, certain new frameworks have been designed in order to make this access, equity and inclusivity in much more deeper sense than what we were doing all these years. In all these years, we have certainly received great attention to access and equity, and from here 0.7% in the gross enrollment ratio at the time of independence, today we are at 27%. but the states like Telangana and many other states are even far better, nearly 35, 36, 40%. But the national average is 27%, and we want to reach to 50% in the next 15 years. So it's a big challenge, almost doubling it in 15 years, what we achieved in 75 years. So that's one of the challenges which we have to address. And therefore, variety of new things which have been stated include multilingualism. We find that some of the students in rural areas, tribal areas, those who are getting education in the school education in the mother tongue, they are dissuaded from coming to higher education because all higher education normally is in English. So how do we promote our Indian languages in terms of higher education is one aspect which has been stated in this. In terms of gender equity, we have already achieved a great attention, and I am thankful that today in the Aisha survey which is conducted every year, the number of girl students in higher education have pipped the boys. It is 50.03% against 49.97%. So that means gender equity has been achieved to a great extent. But still, if you go to rural areas or in terms of communities like SC, ST, the women percentage in the higher education is limited, so we need to increase that. The next one is about physically challenged as well as children with specific learning disabilities. That means dyslexic children and others. There has been not much attention in the past, so policy talks about what is known as SCDGs, so special economic zone, similar to that special education zone, where we give focus on those districts where education is not being taken care of so far, has to be enhanced. It also talks about multiple entry and exit. Please remember, many students sometimes come into education and find that they are misfit, and they want to go out and then go to some other institution and study something else. The credits earned by them were all wasted in the past, but now in the academic bank of credits, all the credits that are earned are going to be recorded, and they will be possible to be made use of when they go to some other institution. Or if they want to re-enter the system because of some family difficulty, someone goes out, the credits earned will be in the bank account of the student, and he can come back and make use of them, not only in that institution but even in some other institution. And therefore, a national credit framework, national higher educational qualification framework, they are all in the making, which will all provide further access, equity and inclusion. And the true spirit of Antyodaya is going to be achieved through this particular mechanism. The next comes the quality. Quality comes from two aspects. I will come to the faculty a little later. But quality comes from the curriculum, which has to be relevant to the needs of the society of today than in the past. And therefore, industry-relevant curriculum, society-relevant curriculum, upgradation of curriculum at regular intervals, multidisciplinarity. This is very important because most of the new products or processes and things that come in the world today are all multidisciplinary in nature. Nothing is unidisciplinary. But we have had universities which have become unidisciplinary. How can we make them multidisciplinary in terms of not only pedagogy, in terms of tests, assessments, examination reforms, standard setting, and also accreditation. I think these are very important facets which will be addressed in the next 2 days during the deliberations. And a lot of useful outcomes will be achieved out of this particular 2-day seminar.